Friends, Simit here from excuse me, Simit here from InformedTrades.com. Today's Thursday, July 10th, 2014. Time for our daily Forex chart review. In these sessions, I share the trades I'm placing, adjustments to existing positions I have on the markets. I may be going through things a little quickly. Check out InformedTrades.com. We have a huge archive of learning material there. If you have any questions, if you want to share your knowledge, we can all learn together. Okay, let's take a look at the charts. First chart that I thought would be really interesting to look at, first chart that we always start with, is gold. Here we see now finally the day has come. We did see the peak out, a peak above the rectangle on July 1st. But now we have a clear, emphatic, and unless we have a sharp reversal in the next 10 hours or so, 9 hours, it looks like we will be closing emphatically above 1330. So this really, as I mentioned before, a close here I think can really set the stage for a pretty quick move to 1380. There isn't too much resistance. There's probably a little bit of resistance at 1350 here, but we're almost right there. So honestly, after a big day like this, even if we can extend up into 1350 by the end of today's session, right now it's about 7:45 a.m. time in Chicago, which makes about 8:45 New York time. And what's that, GMT? So it's like 1:45, I think, GMT. So anyway, in about 9 hours, if price is at 1350, I would expect a small reversal or a little bit of consolidation at this resistance level, and then we could be back up off to 1380. The bulls have all the major momentum signs behind them at this time. Above the 50 simple moving average, above the 200 exponential moving average. The 50 is above the 200. Oh, well, that's the one thing. So, the next major sign is for the 50 to cross above the 200 to see that rate of price accelerate. But however, we're still above both, and we've broken out of this rectangle. So things are pretty bullish for gold, and the major fundamental catalyst for this seems to be the events in Gaza. At least that's what, I'm mainly looking at the technicals, but if we're looking at a fundamental reason, well, there's the whole debt issue, which is the major issue, in terms of the long-term bull cycle in gold, and that's sort of what I'm focused on. But at least in terms of short-term, Israel may be invading Gaza, so that's creating the political tension and uncertainty in the Middle East is probably, as well as the threat of war, is probably contributing to a rally in gold here. And something else that whenever we want to talk about war, we should also consider is the price of oil. Price of oil, we are now at 102, so we've definitely had quite a retracement here. Let me actually draw some Fibonacci retracement here levels, just to put that in perspective on here. From this swing low to this swing high, right around here, we've actually below the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement. So we do have a support level. Actually, let me move this line down. So we are at a support level here. This hammer pattern here, we could be having a hammer today. There's a former resistance level here. So potentially interesting action on oil, and if we expect, if we're saying that gold's rallying because of tension in the Middle East, we would also expect oil to most likely behave in a similar fashion, especially with what's going on in Iraq. Anyway, that's gold. Or that's gold and oil. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. As I mentioned before, with gold, I am, I do have a long-term position. So I am accumulating. I favor accumulating at these prices. I think we're going to go well past 2011 highs in time, though. It's going to take, a few more years at least. Here's Bitcoin. We've been retracing, but we are now at the 50 simple moving average, and we're also 50 is above the 200 here. There we go. So potentially an interesting buying opportunity here. What I'd also be interested in is seeing if we have another AB equals CD pattern, and that could be A to B Now this is only a 42% retracement we're looking at here. So I really wanted to see. Let's see if we can get to 50. Let's right around here basically. If we can get to 602. So there's another AB equals CD pattern. The distances are a little messed up, but if we can defend 602, that may pave the way to 607, the 667, excuse me. In either event, I viewing this as a lottery ticket. I got in at 530. We'll see. So far, though, I think it's pretty bullish. We are at an interesting level because we are at the 50 simple moving average. So let's see if the bulls can defend that. And if they do, if 602 holds, or if we can fall a little bit to 602, $10 more really, I think that sets a way to go to 660 if that level can be defended. 602 can be defended. Okay, now let's get to the Forex trade. Let's start with some of the disappointing news that I had. Going to Aussie yen, big down day. So we can see what happened here. I had my entry order based on this candle right here. A lot of consolidation. All of a sudden, bam, big down day in the Aussie yen, big rally in the yen here. There may have been a fundamental catalyst. I'm sure there was, or some news story. Whenever you see a big candle like this, there's usually some news event. I don't know what it was. I was just going based on these technicals. The market got a little quiet before the big breakout, and maybe in these types of scenarios, the better trade would have been to trade the volatility. Just expect a greater breakout, and that's definitely something I need to explore in my trading. Another way that I can improve win rate, when I see a setup like this, instead of picking a direction, just speculate, structure a trade that's going to profit if there's a move of significant size in either direction. So in any event, I got stopped out on my Aussie yen trade. However, my Aussie Swiss trade is still on, and this is basically at break even. You can see I've entered at 83.56. My stop is at 83.06. Target profit 85.06. So risking 50 to gain 150, basically 3-to-1 reward risk. Let's zoom into the 4-hour chart. We can see a little more. Okay, so we still have this. If we can not retest these lows, or if these lows can basically be the lows that are maintained, that still leaves me a decent position. I'm not seeing as much strength on the Australian dollar across the board as I would like to see, but we'll see. Basically, this trade's at break even for now. I'm not making any adjustments. We do have the 50 simple and 200 exponential moving averages that are right here as well, and hopefully they'll act in between my entry point and my stop. So hopefully that'll act as another layer of another buffer, so to speak. Give me some time, and hopefully then we'll be Australian dollar will head higher. So this is the only trade I have on the moment. One trade I am keeping my eye out on is pound yen, and I was very close to putting a trade on here, but I just don't like to enter on a day where there's a big red candle. I want to see this end and see some signs, some green candles emerge. If we look at a 4-hour chart, it's still red. Now we may tomorrow morning, Friday, July 11th, maybe a time to put an order on. But let's see. I at least want to see some green candles on the 4-hour chart, at least one, or at least an absence of big red candles is the immediate thing. So that's the only reason why I'm not entering. If we switch to the daily chart, though, we can see that price is falling to a level that was previously a resistance level. It was resistance in May of 2014, early May 2nd, early March 7th. Even here in April, basically March, April, May, we've seen this level established, and even a little bit in June, towards the end of June. So I think there's potentially something here. Let's just wait for the candlesticks to show signs of exhaustion in the downtrend. And then I think it'll be an interesting opportunity to buy pound yen. So I'm keeping my eye on that, possibly an order tomorrow. Other than that, nothing really. Just watching Aussie Swiss. Had that loser on Aussie yen, watching Aussie Swiss, and long-term gold has broken out to the upside. So that's favorable, although I'm still accumulating, so I don't mind if it stays a little lower as well. That's about it for the session today. Best of luck in your trading, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.